Welcome to Port St. Lucie. This is Professor Tefero for the Belt and Road responses to the Belt and Road, Western responses. And tonight we're going to look at lesson 11, which is Western responses to the Belt and Road as it concerns countries versus multinationals. There are some things you can do as a country that you can't do as a multinational and vice versa. So let's see what the countries can do and what they can't do and what the multinationals can and cannot do. Taking the Western countries trying to form an alliance against China's incursions in the corridors of the Belt and Roads. In Asia, if the West has the will and the offensive initiative, which I seriously doubt they have at this point in time, but they may develop it, who knows. They would unify countries outside of the Belt and Road, like Australia, Japan, South Korea, and they would get these countries together in Asia and formulate an alliance that makes money, that somehow competes with the Belt and Road on a more or less even scale, in which case a lot of countries may not stay in the Belt and Road. They'll come over to the West. But that is that is a nice Western fantasy. At this point in time, it's just a fantasy. The realities are that and we didn't even mention India. The realities are that each of these countries in Asia, India, Japan, and South Korea, and Australia, everyone is pretty much watching out for themselves. They're not great on alliances. They're not big on allying with the United States. They're just not making lots and lots of money with the United States. And so if they can, they might join a U.S. alliance if the U.S. was strong enough in their initiative to get all of these countries together and make money. The point here is who's going to make the most money. If the Chinese Belt and Road makes the most money, the countries in Asia are going to go with the Belt and Road. And if the U.S. alliance makes more money or an equal amount of money, they might go to the U.S. alliance. So we'll see what transpires. But when it comes to countries, I would have to give China the edge because of their superiority in deal making. They come into a deal, they say, you get $10 billion, we get $10 billion, blah, 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 to the end. There's no, and you have to have a military base for, we have to buy some of our weapons because we have advanced weapon systems. They don't do any of that stuff. They just say 10 billion for you and 10 billion for us, the end. Countries love that. They love not getting involved in military national defense and buying weapon systems and getting involved in having military bases. All of that stuff is anti-business. It's not good business. National defense is never good business, except for companies who are involved in making weapons and national defense. But the countries who can make money through other areas other than weapons and weapon systems, they're attracted to that because it doesn't interfere with their national sovereignty. So we'll see if the United States can put something together like that. I don't have the greatest confidence that will happen. The United States currently takes a wait and see attitude. And when Sun Tzu says, if you wait and see and you are defensive, you will eventually lose. So they're not listening to Sun Tzu, whom they study at their major military academies, and he says, go on the offensive. So they should go on the offensive, but economically go on the offensive. So that is the countryside of the equation. The multinational side is a bit different. You can't kill your competition like some countries can, kill their competition. But you have to deal with the business side from a competitive standpoint. You have to offer prices that are competitive. You have to offer quality that's competitive. You need a supply chain that makes the cost of your products competitive. All of these other variables that enter into being competitive with your rivals um, makes it difficult for Western companies to compete in the Belt and Road corridors because China has the lowest cost for manufacturing in the world. The only country that can compete with them is India, and India is going to try and do that on their own. If the United States can get the cooperation of India for the purposes of defeating the production costs of products for the West, that might be one step in the right direction for the United States. But um, there are other countries involved in Asia. What are you going to do with Japan? What are you going to do with South Korea and Australia? They don't have low production costs. They have high production costs. So you're going to have to come up with some type of formula where everybody makes almost as much money as they would have had they been in the Belt and Road Initiative. The good news is that the companies that are from the West, from the companies that are in the United States and Australia, Japan, Korea, and India, they're out of the Belt and Road. They're not involved in the Belt and Road. So, since they have no other choice, they have no other options. They have to join the United States alliance. They have to try and formulate some type of counterpoint to the Belt and Road because they're out of the Belt and Road to begin with. They have nothing to lose by creating their own alliances with any of those countries that we just mentioned or any of the companies that are in those countries. So you will see various initiatives from both the country standpoint and the multinational company standpoint, um, making alliances because they're out of the Belt and Road and they have nothing to lose. So there will be some alliances in the future from the West to try and combat their market share losses. We'll see what transpires. It should be very interesting. Until then, this is Professor Tefero from Port St. Lucie, wishing you all a happy and healthy night. Take care.